again.
Why
Just
not?
trying to see if it actually...
Welcome to...
Oh, we're in.
Welcome to the Ride Companion number 1, or what? Do we call it number 1, or do we call it number... What was the... Number 40, 41? Because we could call it number 41, it makes it sound more legit. Do you ever do that when I first went self-employed? I had to invoice and stuff. I was like, dude, I can't write. You can't write the invoice number 1. You just look like some sort of noob, don't you? I remember. I can't remember who it was to as well. It was to maybe to a magazine or someone, MBUK or something. And I'd written a load of words, and I was like, dude, I can't have them know I've never invoiced someone.
I did that exact thing at the start of the year.
So then you're like,
exact same thing.
101.
Yeah.
They will never
101.
know.
They'll never know. They'll never think that's dodgy at all. Yeah, I did that exact same thing. That's hilarious. That's funny. Oh dear. Well, here we are, man. I think we should start episode 1 though, because we haven't had any artwork made for 41.
Oh shit, that's such a good point. Yeah. Yeah, good point. So, hey, dude, what are even the people listening are thinking, what has even changed? And actually, I'm trying to think of things.
It's tough. It's tough.
We've had a 2-week break. We've got a new logo.
Yeah, dude.
We've got a new name, obviously.
Yeah. Got a new name.
And the new name doesn't include anything about the global pandemic.
No, nothing at all.
Which
is good.
We do owe a podcast to, because we did kind of launch it off the back of a global pandemic.
Yeah, coronavirus was kind. It was very kind to us.
It was kind, yeah, it was, yeah.
It was really kind. I mean, if it wasn't for that, would we have ever done anything? Probably not.
Probably not.
Who knows where we'd be?
But now it's a fresh start, and it's the Ride Companion. So it's like, yeah.
Which is a sick name.
It is a sick name, right?
Yeah, I like it. I think it's awesome. I think, I put a thing out a few times, people asking, like, oh, guess what we're going to call it? Let's have some name suggestions. Never saw Ride Companion. Never came up.
There you go. I think
that's sick.
In branding terms, it's an evolution, not a revolution.
Nice. And this is an evolving thing, right? This is an evolver. This is going to go places.
It's evolving, bruv. This thing is evolving.
We've got plans. We're going taking over the world.
With a Z as well. Yeah, with a Z. Plans with a Z. Man, yeah.
Plans with a Z.
So yeah,
hi,
Companion
man.
1. Sick.
Yeah. Here we go.
We're in.
Yeah. So
we're recording at what?
Yeah.
Okay then. Okay. What have you been up to, dude? It's been 2 weeks. It feels like a long time. It feels like I'm really used to doing weekly podcasts now. I would say that.
It was weird. It was weird skipping one, and I know we were going to maybe do one, but it just decided to take a week off, didn't we, really? It was like, let's just have a week off. Let's just chill a little bit.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
Not worry about it.
I was glum as well.
I know.
I was and maybe still am glum. A little bit, you know?
I know. But is there a reason? Do you want to talk about it?
There is a reason, yeah. Well, dude, yeah. So I didn't come off, but I hurt my ankle. And it was not an exciting... I just landed off a jump and hurt my ankle to the point where it felt, honestly, exactly the same as my previous break. So I was just like, dude, I can't do it all again. I can't do this all over again. I can't...
Yeah.
Like, I can't film it and be enthusiastic and do another ankle diaries. You know, it's like...
It gets a bit long in the tooth, huh?
Too much, man. I just felt... I was really bummed. So then, yeah, when we were going to... We don't want the first one of these to be a bummer, do we? I mean, maybe I'm making it a bummer now,
but people want to come along on the journey a little bit, so
exactly.
Just outline the bread and butter of things.
So, it hurts a load, and it's my bad ankle, the one I've done this a load of times. I've had an MRI and I'm waiting on the results.
Yeah.
I couldn't walk. I couldn't literally put one bit of weight through it at first. Whereas now I am walking. So already in like a 2-week period. That's pretty good, isn't it?
I feel like that's good. I don't know. Absolutely. I mean, I've not really ever. I'm trying to think. There's times where you feel like you've broken something, but you don't go to hospital, and there's a small chance that you might have broken it, or there's a little fracture or a little hair. And after 2 weeks, you can probably walk on it. So
this is exactly.
It's the dilemma, isn't it?
That. Dude, it is. I never really know. Like, if I'm honest, I know what a bone feeling is now, and I know what a soft tissue feeling is, and I'm not saying that in a cool way. Like, actually, a lot of the time, soft tissue hurts way more. It's way more constant pain. The bone for me is like this sort of dreary realization that you've got to wait for ages. Whereas soft tissue one, like a sprain, still to this day for me, a sprain has been the most painful thing I've ever done. And
often takes longer to heal, I feel like.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah, I just like... It's tough. I'm quite bitter and twisted about injury, I guess, these days. Because people will be like, oh, maybe you've just sprained it. And you're like, no, feeling that. But I'm positive now. I'm still waiting on news from my surgeon. This MRI was going to be done anyway because they're talking about removing bone and making my ankle bend more. So and I'm actually starting to ride cross country. Just sat down and stuff. So it's not exactly like a real injury, but it felt like one at the start, and I was bummed.
I bet, dude. I can imagine. Like, yeah, that's the worst feeling.
Yeah.
Well, I know you were bummed, so that's gonna suck.
In the meantime, though.
Yeah.
You dirt jump Davi now. What the
fuck?
Dude. You dirt jump Davi.
Yeah, dude. A little bit back on it. Yeah, a little bit, dude. So, I mean, the first question was what I've been up to, and ultimately that is what I've been doing. Only twice. I've only been twice, but mate, mate, honestly, just getting that feeling back for being down the trails with the guys and like everything about it. That first experience of going down there, it was my first real ride on that bike as well. So I'll be honest, it's kind of intimidating when you my last time riding trails was about 10 years ago at that exact spot. The entire spot has changed totally. It's not like rocking up and being like, I can kind of remember roughly what this sort of feels like. It's all new. So rolled up to the spot, was pretty intimidated, I'll be honest with you, because I hadn't really ridden this bike. I was like, this is just straight in at the deep end with arguably the biggest trails that we have locally, for sure.
Yeah.
So it was a bit intimidating.
Do pump track. You were talking about just dipping your toe in. You were talking about like, oh, I'm gonna go and ride some pump track this and chill before.
Didn't find time to go and do it, mate. So just
go straight
in at the dirt jumps. So yeah, first ride was down the dirt jumps. So like I say, it was intimidating, but all the guys down there. Shout out to everyone down there. Quite a funny story, actually. Hopefully, Steve listens to this one as well. Because remember a little while ago we were talking about sort of differences between people and like what aspects of biking they do and how it translates. And I gave an example, an analogy of this guy that was like couldn't pedal around a berm. I don't know if you remember that. And we were chatting about it, and I was like, he couldn't literally pedal around it. Anyway, rocks up to the trails. And our boy, Steve, Green Bike Steve, is there. And he was like, I was listening to the podcast the other day. And I was like, oh, shit. And he gave me a different example of something. He was like, oh, you were talking about this thing. And I'm like, oh, yeah. So bless him, he's not got to that one yet where I was literally calling him Green Bike Steve and talking about him not being able to pedal around a berm. So, Steve, if you're listening, here we are. We're actually talking about it again. So all the guys down there, dude, are super cool. Olly, my business partner, is one of the major diggers down there. He was like helpful, he's like, right, you just need to roll in at this sort of speed, and you'll probably get through. And just started on a little line and picked my way through it, just slowly but surely, just methodical, nothing crazy, just jump by jump by jump.
Were you? So you ticked them off one by one. I really think that's good when people do that. I really think that's good, and I hate myself. If I don't one bang a set, I feel like something's going to go wrong in the world.
Really?
It becomes it's become like an
but is that a new
thing.
set? Is that a new set? Like you rock up to some new trails you've never ridden before, and you want to one bang them?
Yeah.
Wow, interesting.
And then when it doesn't always happen, because with trails, there are some things that you have to know, aren't there? There's like a hip that you have to pull left on, or there's a and if it doesn't happen, I'm spooked. It's annoying.
Really?
It's like some form of OCD, some form of, or it's just like a sign that something bad will happen, or it's you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I'm really bad at remembering them. Like a new line. So there's a few where I'm riding at the moment. There's quite a few different options, and one of them's called hat line, I think, and I literally just can't remember it. So you drop in, and it's like right hip, left hip, berm, left hip, and I just can't remember. Yeah, but I only walked like, there's various different lines, so I only walked like one line. I was like, right, I'm going to stick to this little line, line.
Dude,
and I'll just get these nailed, and I'll get comfortable on the bike, and then I'll just slowly move my way along it. Yeah. And that's what we did. And dude, like, talk about that feeling of just feeling like, I don't know, that is everything I used to do when I was younger was dirt jumping, and then all of a sudden it's just re-energized me to go back down there. And like, honestly, you know, I said it before in a message, but thank you for that, because you've inspired me to go back down and do that stuff. Because I'd sort of discredited it, and I'm like, yeah, don't really know about dirt jumping anymore. Yeah, a little bit, but there's like that feeling of going through trails is just the best thing,
isn't it?
So, and I'm at a point now where I'm a little bit more comfortable on that bike. Forget any sort of stees or anything that's not happening. It's just a case of just getting through everything, no crashing, and just get the feeling back to riding a dirt jump bike again. Because it's really weird, man. It's like, for me, it's almost like jumping on a BMX when you've been riding a downhill bike for 10 years. It's just so alien. And this Marin that I got, it is really short as well.
Yeah.
So I sort of remembered the feeling of what my old dirt jump bike felt like, which was a giant STP. It was quite a lot longer. So this thing feels alien anyway, even if it was similar, if that makes sense. So yeah, there you go.
Sounded like you said you had a giant STD. That was all I was thinking for the rest of the sentence. I was like,
was it an STD? No, it's STP.
Looking back fondly on your giant STD.
Yeah, something else I brought back from Australia was a giant STP.
No, that's it, dude. There's nothing like the trails, is there? That's it's funny as well. What's it? So at the minute for you, is it a fully intense experience, or is it like that? Because that's what I think's interesting about it. Because for me, it's like intensity mixed with zero intensity. So like,
yeah, because I feel like you've got to have not much intensity. Because if you try racing or doing anything intense through trails, you're probably going to get hurt. So if that's what you mean, it's for me. I'm like just trying to get in that flow state of just, like that's how I just that's how it comes across in my head of just chilling. You've just got to chill and just go with it, right? Like the more you chill on the bike and the more fluid you are, the easier I think that is.
Yeah, for sure.
So definitely those first few runs were pretty intense. It was like squashing stuff and just making sure that I had speed to get over stuff. But then now it feels a bit more fluid and a bit more like I'm at one with the waves of dirt. Definitely, man. Enjoying it. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you. You know, always talk about dirt jumping and posting photos and stuff, and it's crazy how it inspires you to actually go on and give it a shot again. And there's been a bunch of people reach out as well and say the same. Like, oh wow, good to see you doing that. I think people have probably come along on this journey with us a little bit from all the way back at episode 1, and then all of a sudden around episode 15, 20, I'm like, actually, dude, I might get a dirt jump bike again. And then it took like a year to find one because they're so like sold out everywhere. Yeah, right. And then people are like, oh shit, you actually went down and rode the dirt jumps. That's insane. Like, wow, it's really cool that people have like come along on this journey with us. So
ticked it off.
Yeah, man, hyped. Super cool.
That's brilliant. Good stuff. It's always been a mega important part of riding, and I guess I do feel conscious that like you can't let it go. So it's rad to see that you've let it go and brought it back, and that is possible.
It's funny that the reason that I did let it go, though, wasn't because I stopped enjoying it when I really think about it. The reason I let it go was I moved away a little bit from close to the dirt jumps. Yeah. And then the bike I had got stolen, and then when I got it back, it was just annihilated. And then I lived like 40 minutes away from this spot. Yeah. So like when you're on the road all the time, you know, I am still bad for this. Like I'll get back on a Friday, and then the last thing I want to do is go back in a van or in a car. Yeah. So I'll put stuff off, like going riding with friends. If they're riding, for example, from me, if they're riding at Warncliffe, which is about a 45-minute drive away, I'm like, nah, I don't want to go. Like, although I know deep down, I'm like, I love going riding that spot. I opt to stay close because I just don't want to drive. Yeah. So that's definitely part of it as well. So. And that's what it was. It was like I moved too far away from the dirt jumps. Just stopped going. Simple as that.
Have you got a spot near you that you could build them? Or not really?
Not really, no. No, the spot that I'm riding at is legit. It's good. It's, you know, it's official as far as official can be. Yeah. It's not going to get ploughed. They got ploughed years ago when we used to dig there. About 15 years ago, they got knocked down and then it got all built back up. Yeah. I mean, you know, it's one of them, isn't it? It's like, if I could... There is a spot around here that I've got in my head that we could probably build something, but you know how it is, man. When there's not many people around here that do that, on solo dirt jumping is pretty boring, isn't it? Just stacking dirt.
And dangerous,
and it takes
really. It's not
years.
something I do. Yeah.
No, it takes years though, doesn't it, to build a good spot?
It's interesting, isn't it? It's quite a social thing, riding, and like certainly dirt jumping. I'd love to know if people do ride stuff on their own. Like I personally wouldn't ride dirt jumps on my own. It's not.
No, not at all. That place where I'm at, they've been really good. They've put a bar across so you can't ride them anyway.
Yeah.
They're in like a public public place.
Yeah.
But you can't just tip up and ride them unless you've got the code to the lock, which is good because I think some people would probably go, I'll have a go at these, and then you end up in a world of shit.
I actually ride, even if I ride normal trails, like what do you call them, downhill or enduro trails. I'd still ride them at like probably like a 60% speed.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
I'm pretty. I don't, never know really, because you hear about people getting hurt on their own and they're out riding and stuff, and I never really know like if people bomb on their own. I don't know what I mean is I don't know what other people do, whether other people do ride like super hard on their own or whether they send it.
Yeah, I don't know. I personally don't. I just chill if I'm out on my own. Yeah. I just chill all the time when I'm out with other people most of the time, to be honest. But have you had an experience of being on your own and like getting hurt?
Yeah, I have. As a kid, I did. Yeah, I KO'd up at the trails before. I thought I used to do weird stuff. So our old spot, Milford, was on a hill, and you could ride. You could basically do a lap. So after the trails weren't that good, they became like a bit less groomed. Yeah. I just raced down the line, and then the last jump was still spinnable. So I do. It's so weird. I'd do 10 laps. On the last lap, I'd make myself spin. And then I'd do a sprint to the top. So I was really exhausted. I used to really like it because there's something really cool. There's something like Supercross about being like fatigued and riding jumps. You know, you like scrub stuff, and you see like Supercross riders like conserve energy, don't you? And their bodies all loose in the air, and then so I'd do that, and then I'd do a spin on the last one. Anyway, one of these like rides I was doing on my own, I came off, whacked my head, and then I was just lying on the landing, and looking up at the sky, and like these trails were right next to the main road, so you could just hear like cars. And I was just like, I knew where I was. It wasn't like a full on sleepy one, but it was like enough for everything to settle. And then for me to open my eyes. And then I remember, I had my old friend Mark knocked himself out in the woods as well on his own. And a culmination of those two things happening, I was just like, I'm not doing this. Yeah,
that's gnarly. I feel I've definitely ridden that dirt jump spot I'm going to now. Yeah. Back when I lived around the corner from there, definitely used to ride that on my own thinking about it. I'd just be like, I'm going up the trails for a bit, and I'd go up to dig, and then be like, well, I'm here, I might as well just do a run, and then you just go through, and it only takes one little thing, doesn't it, and you're in a world of shit. Yeah. Like, it is pretty stupid.
Like, I do vaguely remember trails being a little bit more of a roll of the dice when I was younger. Like, I do, but, you know, like, it doesn't really feels really calculated even when it goes wrong for me now, whereas I do remember at one point being like, yes, wow, that's weird. Sometimes I really buck on that jump, and that must have been when I was a bit clueless. Like,
yeah, true.
I just vaguely remember it. Like.
I feel like there's nothing for me scarier than going to a new spot. Still, like that still gets the wind up me a little bit. I haven't done it for ages, but I know you're with the guys. You go to a new spot, and you say hello to the locals, and you're just like, this is intimidating. There's not much that really replicates that of being at the top of a rolling like. Like, what speed do I hit it? Like, what do you do?
Do you follow someone or what?
Nah, I'm not really into the followy thing. I think as well with some of the guys that I ride with and have ridden with, we're quite a mix of styles. So I've got certain friends who really boost stuff, and then I'm sort of in the middle, like I can and I can't. So oftentimes you get to that thing where you start catching people, and there's nothing scarier than catching someone on a set of trails to me. When you start actually like you take off and he's in the air and you're sort of almost scrubbing underneath him. So I think I have. I don't now. I haven't for a while, but I definitely used to do like pretty big trains and stuff like that. Are pretty normal, but I do a lot mindful of leaving enough of a gap.
Yeah, a new spot I do quite a lot of following. I do most of my first runs. I follow whoever the boss is. I try to.
Right.
I find that really
I
helpful.
suppose it's a good way of doing it.
You pick up on cues like you don't even realise, you don't consciously do it, but like I spend a lot of time, like if I go to a new spot and there's some big jumps or something, I'll just follow Brennan, or I'll follow someone who's ridden there before, and it tends to be Bren because I ride new spots with him quite a lot. And I can like read what he's doing in front without even thinking about it. So he won't even tell me like you have to pull up for the third, and you'll just sort of take it in. It must be on your periphery. You'll just see someone pull up, and the same goes the other way around. Like a friend will follow me in, and they'll just like pick up on little things that you do, and it's interesting because you don't even have to say anything. And then at the end they'll be like, "Oh, I followed you left on that jump, and I'm glad I did because we could have gone flat," or it's quite funny. But yeah, I find following is the easiest way to literally clear. I almost feel confident that any set of jumps that are possible, I could follow someone. As long as there's not like something super gnarly in it.
You know? Yeah, and that's funny because again, I think I told you the other night we were down at the trails, and Craig Evans turned up. Yeah. Who won hardline, which is still insane. Yeah, won hardline, rolls up on a commuter bike, said to one of the guys, "Oh, can I have a run on your bike?" I don't think he's ridden monkey bumps that spot for years. He's not been over this side of Sheffield very much because he lived at the opposite side now, but he's moved back. So he just jumps on some bike, first, all of them, one banger, whole thing. Sick. With a bag on. It's like, dude, what the hell? But I think he followed someone. That's what because I remember looking at him.
Interesting, yeah. I think following really helps. I do, yeah. If it's someone you trust, I mean, I wouldn't follow anyone, but yeah. Yeah, I'd pull out a lot, so there's no you won't want to follow me. Just pull off and slam into stuff. Yeah, I guess a lot of trails as well like don't require any like drastic input, like you need to brake for this one, or really, you know. Very true. So if they're built well, there's not really.
If they're built well, it's just a case of dropping in and just going with it, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Like you say, you shouldn't have to really even think too much. You just go with the flow.
And it's not that it's bad if you have to brake, but it's just like if you're doing 100 runs of it, you'd think that somewhere in those 100 runs, you'd be like, should we put something in here so you don't have to brake? Or should we do something to make it so you don't have to brake? Like, it fucks your speed. Your speed should be almost constant, shouldn't it?
Yeah, for sure. No, it's sick, dude. Like I said, absolutely loving it. It's nice to be back down there. The vibe's always good. Nice people, you know, just hanging out, playing bikes, which is ultimately what we enjoy doing, isn't it? And I'm definitely thankful to be back on that thing. It's just a shame it's so seasonal. It's such a shame because like every day I've been down, so I've only been down the dirt jumps twice since getting this bike. It's been raining in the morning, and I wake up and I'm just like, like super bummed out that you can't go ride. It is super seasonal, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, are they all tarped up? Yours?
Yeah, all tarped up. Yeah, all tarped up.
So then, do you have to? Have you? So, are you behaving well? Because you very much risk not behaving well at trails, and this will be interesting for people listening as well. So, if the trails are tarped up, you have to help untarp them. Obviously, you know all this, and then also when you leave, you should always try and hang out. I find it quite difficult, dude, because it's such a long process. Like. So, if the trails are tarped, you have to untarp them, water them down, sweep them, make them all perfect. Then everyone can ride. And then at the end of the day, you probably have to tarp them up again, unless the weather's staying dry or whatever. And people get really shitty if you're like one of those guys that turns up in the dry. A dry guy, they call him.
Dry guy.
A dry guy. Yeah. So if you turn up after they've become untarped, and you leave before. So you basically avoid any kind of help or work. Yeah, I think it's good to talk about because it's like it's one of those things you can really fuck people off with.
Big time. It's interesting that you've mentioned it because the 2 times, and we're only talking 2 times I have got there after the jumps are untarped, and I've left before the jumps are retarped. But there is a premise to this. Yeah. It's a time thing. Everyone who rides there lives within a 5-minute ride from there. I live
100%
a driveway, right? But everyone that still rides there, which is really sick, are the people that I used to ride with anyway. So went down there for the first time, and it was like, fuck, like amazing to see you again. Sort of earned your stripes a little bit of like you used to dig here anyway. It is I would not like to be a new guy turning up.
No, it's tough, isn't it?
Not to that spot, just in general, because you are a bit like, oh.
Yeah, actually, if you just always think this with a lot of stuff. Like, if you're just aware and you talk about it and you, like, speak openly to people, like, oh, I don't want to be an arsehole, you know, like, I appreciate I didn't help at all here. I'm sorry I'm leaving early. If there's anything I can do next time, blah, blah, blah. That goes a long way. It's like the not mentioning it, leaving and just bombing off. I think that's the sort of stuff that pisses people off.
It is 100%. And again, like the first time I went down, I cased one of the jumps, and I was like, oh, it's what you do. You get a spade, you patch it back up.
You
this
replace
is what you
your
do.
Case.
Replace the case. I like it. I like that. Replace the case. So yeah, I don't know. There is a learnt. What would you call it? Sort of. I don't know what the name is. There's like a sort of etiquette. There you go. There is a very deep trails etiquette, isn't there?
Now, to people listening, it might seem really juvenile and stupid as well. I kind of always feel aware of that. But as an exercise, maybe do it in your garden. Could be a laugh. Build a takeoff and see how long it takes and how much work it is. Doesn't even have to be a big one. It can be like up to chest height, because that's not very big really in terms of like dirt jumps, is it? Or like up to waist height. Like, if you actually pile that up, then you appreciate how bloody mind-numbingly boring it is and how much work it is. And then you kind of understand it a bit more, people being weird about that stuff, right?
Yeah, do it in secret, then invite all your friends over to case the shit out of it and see how you feel.
Yeah,
you're going to be
pretty
pissed.
It is really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not as juvenile as it sort of comes across. It's actually quite like, I don't know. I feel it, and I appreciate that riding a bike over silly little mounds of dirt is ridiculous, and it's not elite. And
it's always interesting there because it's on like a public footpath.
Yeah.
It's like down the bottom of the bank, and people often walk past. And I remember again this from being down there years ago, and people will stop and be like, "Wow, like how is this here?" And you'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's like all done by hand." They'd be like, "What? You've done all this by hand? Like what? Well, who's doing this? Is it prisoners? Like what are you doing?"
Crazy people.
Yeah, it's crazy people. All winter in the rain digging. So yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like in that spot I've earned my stripes, but I think I have got a pretty good trail etiquette personally anyway, just from doing it for so long when I was younger.
Yeah.
So yeah, awesome to be back on that train, man. Really hyped.
Yes.
So yeah.
Nice.
What else we got to talk about?
I think that's it for episode 1. We're doing 20-minute episodes now. We should talk about actually. I guess the name Ride Companion is worth talking about, isn't it? We talked about it a bit.
It is for sure. It is. I think it's a. I mean, you can lead. Like, I'll let you go. Like, what do you think? What do you think about the name? Where do you think it's going?
Well, I guess it's not. I don't know when people listen to this. More people listen to it than they do watch it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know whether people are doing it on a drive. I personally listen to podcasts when I drive or when I'm at the gym. I think.
Okay.
I think a lot of the time, gym and drive. They're my two things. I actually don't listen. No, I do listen to podcasts on rides. I do actually, like a cross-country ride when I'm not with other people. I do listen to a podcast, it's a perfect companion.
I listen all the time. I listen to the various like yesterday I was out working on my bike, and you know I had podcast in, go for a walk, podcast in. It's different podcasts for different things for me. It's like if I want to be a little bit more health and fitness, it'll be like when I'm on a long walk or doing something like that, and then it's different ones for different things. But I think ultimately what we're trying to get to is we want to see where you listen. So that's going to be a bit of a weekly feature. We're going to do like, where are you listening? Or I don't know, we'll come up with some sort of name for it. Something like, where you at? Where you at? Let's like send a photo. There is going to be a link in the show description so you can upload content. So if anyone wants to upload a photo, you can do it on Instagram if you really want. But ultimately,
future? So you can
we're in the future.
What?
You can upload. So we want to see where you listen, like, and then Ollie and I, let's discuss a couple of the best ones on the next episode. Like, where are you? Where are you listening? I think what's funny is a lot of people, I didn't know this, but a lot of people reach out and often say that they listen in bed. It's like my thing to listen to before I go to bed. And the fact that me and you are in people's ears while people are in bed is kind of crazy.
That makes me want to make my voice a little bit smoother.
Play some dulcet tones in the background.
Alright, you're listening in to the Ride Companion. Now close those eyes. Actually, we got George has got that
literally a ride companion if you have it on in the bedroom. Imagine mine in your voice.
The dude's just getting
Okay,
ridden.
Ollie.
Hellish that. Hellish.
Yeah, that's a thought. That is a thought.
Yeah, Jordan's got this app called Calm. There's probably loads of them, right? It's like the sleep app thing.
Yeah.
And she sometimes puts on. I always get a bit offended. It's like it's that fucking Harry Styles. Harry Styles reads out a little poem thing, and it's got soothing music. It pisses me off, but it does work. It does make you go to sleep. Yeah. And it's just literally this dude, like, essentially romancing you, you know? And I'm listening.
Yeah.
And he's, you know, he's doing all little cute shit that rhymes.
I like...
You know?
I like stuff like that before bed. I often do, like, an evening meditation or a
I don't have
sort of wind-down thing.
Do you? What's your meditation, then? Is that from an app as well with Harry Styles or not?
No, not the Harry Styles. I've got one called Balance, and they do like evening meditations, or you can have maybe some sound like waves or just white noise or something like that.
This one's got really good. This one's got like breathing things as well, where it's like in, out, in, pause, out, or whatever. But you'll sleep good, man. If you have a good evening routine, to wind it down, you know, there's nothing worse than getting in bed and being het up. You don't sleep good. I don't have a good evening routine at all.
Really?
I don't know. I rely on being physically exhausted, but you know, like for instance, right now where I'm riding less or I'm doing less just because I can't walk around as much, I fucking lie in bed just like, whoa, I've got so much energy.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. You see, I like the meditation of being in bed. I use that like first 20 minutes of being in bed to literally just meditate on my own. Just there's no app involved. I just like you focus on the end of your nose and just feel the breath coming in and out. Boom, go to sleep.
There you go.
Beautiful.
There you
It's
go.
the nicest thing. But the fact that people would have us playing in their ears is kind of crazy. So if you're in bed, let's see a photo. Let's see where you're at. Let's see that.
Dude, just ask him. Just ask him. You want dick pics, right? Is that what?
Let's see. Let's see what you're working with. Come on. Let's see your spouse. Your spout and your spouse.
Man.
But yeah, that's cool. So that's going to be one feature anyway that we're going to do weekly. Let's see where you're listening. Like I say, it's always crazy to hear where people listen. I often get videos of people listening as well, which is really cool. They'll be out walking or whatever. So let's see it. Let's see where you're at. Let's get creative. We'll try and offer up some spot prizes too.
Oh, I got sent a really good one from one of our listeners. It was a really good Instagram post. It was a poorly spelt inspirational quote, which is there's nothing more funny than an inspirational quote because you're trying to inspire people, which just seems insane. If you're trying to do that, then that's right. There's something insane about
it's a bit.
Right?
What's the word? It's a bit narcissistic.
It is, isn't it? It is. It's like if you want to be like me, as good as me. And check this shit out. Anyway,
although that makes me feel a bit funny about I do the thought of the day every day.
But that's they're like quotes, but they have another name underneath.
Yeah,
if
it's not really from
quotes. Then
I don't do many from me. Maybe one every 3 months. They'll be like, "Oh, that's interesting. I'll use that." But usually it's someone else's that I've heard.
What is
anyway,
a quote?
Right?
So you do a quote and then it says Davey underneath.
Nah, I'd never put my name under there.
Right.
Can you imagine how embarrassing that would be?
Even the ones like that, they're like terms of speech, aren't they? They're like something you've heard and you're repeating, right? You're not like designing quotes, are you? Or are you?
No, I'm not designing quotes, mate. I'm not that guy.
Quotes. No.
Someone must. Someone's designing.
Gotta.
Someone's doing it.
You want to ghostwrite that, wouldn't you? You want to put your name to it, like.
Well, I would never do that.
No, it's tough.
Anyway, so what was this listener thing that he sent?
Annoyingly, I can't remember it now, but it was misspelt, and I love the idea of that section. Like, I'm going to see if I've saved it somewhere, but I think I've failed to save it, and then I was going to bring it up on another one, and I failed again. So.
Because we were going to do people enjoyed the social media thing, right? Like finding funny social media stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Okay. All right,
but
I'm into that. I mean, the funniest thing at the moment is, for me, if you've not already done it, at Goodyear Europe, and put a comment on there.
Yeah, I like this. Yeah, I want to go in that.
Why is ODub not on that blimp?
Yeah,
there's quite a few on there now.
Dude,
I'll be honest with you.
Goodyear blimp?
Oh, it's so sick, mate. Honestly, I want
to float around in that thing.
But I was trying anyway. I saw it was coming to the UK. I told you this.
It's more your dream, actually, isn't it? Because you want a hot air balloon, so it's more your.
I was trying to get you in it. I was trying to get you in
but
it,
we
mate.
should
It's
really
fine.
get you in it as well. You got the Goodyear t-shirt on, dude. You deserve a fucking little.
Yeah. Well, I might take it off if they don't get me in the fucking blimp.
Yeah,
I'm taking this thing.
Yeah, right. We can do a podcast.
I'm getting a Maxis one for next week.
It'd be like, a podcast up there would be like, what?
So, I wonder what it's like inside.
Yeah, interesting.
I wonder what it's like. It could either go two ways, I feel like. It's either going to be like super modern or literally a man pedalling with a steering wheel.
Dude, you can look it up. There's a whole thing on the Goodyear blimp and the people behind it and the people that work on it. It's quite interesting.
Really?
The one in America, this is the one that goes to the Super Bowl. I think this one here is one that's actually based in Friedrichshafen because I used to see it every time Eurobike was on. And I've always thought the Goodyear blimp was cool, even before I rode Goodyear tyres. I always thought
it is cool.
Was cool.
Hell of a marketing thing. And they've done it now.
So
no one else can do that, can they?
No, exactly. You can't.
Because then you're copying it, aren't
Exactly,
you?
yeah. Oh, yeah. Michelin have done a Goodyear blimp. Doesn't work, does it?
Forget it.
I could show you one of my things that I've saved because it's quite interesting. Do you save posts on Instagram?
Sometimes.
This is one.
Do you save it within the app, or
I do. I save it within the app. Yeah, I just press that little bookmark thing in the corner.
Yeah.
And that saves it to you've got a little list then.
This was a man going up and down stairs.
Yeah, so this really caught my eye because this is a set of steps that just fold up against the wall, and I thought, what cool design. That was the last thing I saved.
That is a cool design though, isn't it?
Largely, I look at Instagram, when I look at it like not in a work perspective, I look at it for like sort of diggers getting stuck and like crane demolition on buildings and like G-Wagons. That's really kind of it. We've talked about this before, the search page, haven't we?
Yeah, but you don't have a ghost account, do you? So you've only got that one account.
Yeah, I've only got one, so it's just like largely just sort of cars.
Let's see your search page today. Let's see what you're working with. Oh, you see mine.
It's a good update on what's going on. It's just like cars and surfing, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
But I've got a lot of there's interesting ones like industrial ones, like people putting bolts into a bridge and like. Sounds really
you
boring.
like that sort of stuff, is it?
I love that stuff, yeah.
Mine's pretty boring today. It's
what is it?
I don't know, you probably see it or not. It's really clear on my side, but I know you can't. I've got a big snake on there.
Yeah, you got animals, bikes.
Yeah,
bikes,
cars a pink there? Car, dirt jumps.
Yeah, there you go.
Pretty much everything I'm into. But then if I go on like my personal one, that's when things get a bit weird.
Things get a little
because it's literally just men working out.
Is it? So that's the real you.
Yeah. It's literally just men. It is honestly, it is literally just men working out.
Like, look wrong with that,
at the bottom one.
Is that the meme guy? Wow, there you go.
Yeah, but I'll try better. I'll try and find funny stuff on Instagram. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, we should do it more often, shouldn't we? Just like a post of the week. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, post of the week. Post of the week.
Post of the week.
Post of the week.
Post of the week. I'm going to write that
down. There you go.
So my post of the week is the foldy stairs and yours is a bodybuilder.
Yeah, mine's just a jack dude in a pair of budgie smugglers. Alright, post of the week. We'll put it up on here so people can see it.
We've got to do watching and listening still because it is actually, I actually enjoy that. It's pretty much the only thing I write down in this stupid book I've got next to me. And
yeah,
I feel like
I like watching and listening.
Yeah, okay, so I've got one that's so basic and I'm such a generic person for watching this. But I can't help it. I enjoy it and it is good. It is good. I'm watching Clarkson's Farm. Have you seen this?
No, I haven't seen it. Is it on Amazon Prime?
It is on Amazon Prime. Now, I
don't have it up north.
What? You can't get it up north? So I got a I got a login for it. I don't have it either, but I got a login for it.
You pikey.
I know, eh? I know. But it is really good. So it's Clarkson's obviously bought a farm years ago, and then he's taking over the running of it, and it's 1,000 acres. It's massive, yeah. And do you know what I think? I think it does the farming community a real service because it just shows how bloody hard they work and how difficult it is. Because
no doubt.
Yeah, I guess I kind of go through periods where I think, fuck, I could be a farmer, dude. Doesn't look all that bad, like cruising around in like a off-road vehicle, you know, and fucking with animals. You know, I like the idea of it, but I think the reality of it is what you kind of live the reality of it through Jeremy, which is quite cool. And he's a funny character as well, isn't he? Whether you like him or not, he's entertaining.
Yeah, he is. Where is it? Where's this farm?
It's in the Cotswolds. Yeah.
Is it really? There's 1,000 acres in the Cotswolds.
Yeah, he's got that TV money, dude. He's not afraid, I think.
Oh, he ain't struggling, is he?
He got a Lamborghini tractor. Anyway, I'll let you watch it. It is honestly really worth a watch. I've not watched many episodes, but it's great because it goes into just how difficult it actually is.
Okay, I will. I promise. I'll get on it. I'll get an Amazon Prime login, or you can share yours,
hassle,
and I'll have a look.
Like a lot of hassle there, dude. I'm sure it's uploaded elsewhere, right? Are there stuff that exclusively live on these channels? I don't really know anymore.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be on YouTube somewhere, right?
Yeah.
If you search hard enough, you'll be able to find it.
Yeah, true.
Not that I hate ripping people off, but yeah.
My brother's a tractor driver, and I can imagine that's a real podcasty job.
Oh yeah, lovely podcast job that,
isn't it?
Really nice, yeah.
Out in the field.
Yeah, I think. You know what? Pre-podcast, even learning about podcast, when I was in Australia, I had a job driving a what's those things? It's like a big truck, and it's got like a big wheel on the front, and it flattens roads, and it's got like loads of dimples all over. There you go.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
There you go. So
I think so. Yeah.
Used to roll it. Would you say you used to roll it?
It used to roll it,
yeah.
But it wasn't flat roller. It was a did that. So
dimpled one. So it's before the
dimpled
last
roller.
So does that happen? See, I'm just interested in this shit. I can't help it. I don't know if this is like ever since I was a boy. I don't feel like this has been drummed into me. I think I'm just naturally interested in it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
dimpled roller. That dimpled roller. So
they dimple it and then they put the final layer down that you actually drive on the surface. So it's like
I'm no expert, dude. Honestly, I had this job on this building site, and
it.
I was there in body, so but in spirit, I wasn't.
You did it without.
I was not. I was not there in body. I was there in body, but in spirit, I wasn't there. I mean, this job, dude. I had. Long story quite short. My ex-girlfriend, who I dated in Australia, her dad was a builder, and he fucking hated me. So basically, I came off doing the shutdown work, working on oil refineries, had loads of money in the bank, and I mean like more money than I've ever had in my life, and I was like. Early 20s in the bank. 20-ish, 22, I don't know. Loads of money in the bank. Goes around to their house and he's like, got you a job. I'm like, I don't want a job. Like, I literally don't want a job. I'm here to not have a job. And he's like, no, I've got your job. Building site. You can come and work with me and we can, can teach you.
Rollers.
Yeah, and there was this massive, massive expanse of land. You can imagine what it's like in Australia. Yeah. And there wasn't even a pattern of me rolling it. It wasn't like, oh, will you roll this so we can do something with it? It was just like, fuck off over there and just roll around. And I just drove it all day.
What, so you didn't have to do a square or a pattern or...
Dude, there was nothing. It was just a massive plot of land and it was just a case of just roll it. Just keep rolling.
This can't be the case. This can't. See, okay, so you didn't question it even. Dude, you can't.
I did it for about 2 months.
In the fucking roller and not question what it's for, can you?
I did it for about 2 months, dude. I just rock up, jump in the thing.
What's the floor like?
Drive over this paddock.
Is it just red dirt?
They were making a massive industrial estate, and it was huge, mate.
Okay.
Massive.
So was it all like crushed? Was it all like hardcore and crushed and stuff? And you were rolling, and you were.
I think it might have been. I feel like it was a little bit finer than crushed gravel. I feel like, from what I remember, it was a bit more like BMX track surface. What's that called?
See, this sounds a lot better.
Like
I thought you were I thought they'd played a 2-month-long trick on you, and you had just driven a roller around in the outback, just on red dirt.
That's what it felt like, dude. I'll be honest.
And the guy's like, this kid is not going to be my son-in-law. Look at him. He's not even questioned it. He's just driving around a roller. He's using literally hundreds of pounds of diesel just rolling around a bush.
This is the same guy that sent me to New Zealand on a drug run, by the way. Do you remember?
There you go. Yeah, I do, yeah. Wow, there you go. Yeah, he really
the same guy.
Some crappy stuff. Yeah, he didn't like you, did he? No.
Hated me, man. Hated me. Like, legit. And I couldn't say no to this job. I literally had thousands and thousands of pounds in my bank, and I'm there to travel and just enjoy my life, and there I am driving around for 2 months in the summer heat of Australia.
That's tough, isn't it?
And what were we talking about? Oh, that's how I can't remember what we were even talking about, but that was like pre-podcast to me. So I just used to listen to talk radio, and I used to really enjoy it. I'd be couldn't wait to get in this thing, to be honest. I'd be like, yeah, just drive about all day, listen to people talking.
Yeah. That is
I
fascinating.
don't know how that comes back to what we're even talking about anyway.
I'm still intrigued that you didn't question. I have to know.
I'll be honest, mate. Like, from what I remember,
care.
this is a long time ago, man. I didn't like the guy, and I didn't like him. He didn't like me, and I think it was like path of least resistance. If I don't question it, if I don't say anything, I'll just turn up and do it every day. And he used to pick me up for work, and we'd be like, "Oh yeah, here we go."
There's no right or wrong answer. I don't mean it like that. Like, I find it just fascinating. Like, when I used to work on building sites, just the difference in people's like approach to stuff is so interesting, because you get like, because you kind of want someone who's just like, if you're I had to like do little extensions, and I'd just do the groundwork up to like plate height, but I had to almost manage these people that I was with. So like, we're all labourers basically, and I was like king of the labourers. I was the one-eyed man in the land of the blind.
Right.
And you get different people. So you get dudes that just truck on, and you say move those bricks, they'll just move them all day. They'll just keep moving them. Often they're like, the ones that are the best at that are not the thinkers, in my experience. So they won't think, why am I moving them? And they won't think like, if we're building an extension, you want half the bricks there and you want half the bricks here. Just logically, if you're spreading it around a square shape, but they won't even think that. They'll just move all of them to there, or they'll like. So you need to give them really, really specific instructions, or you need to check back on them way more often. And I always imagined like, I'm not really. I feel like I have to question everything. Annoying.
Yeah, try and find a logical.
Yeah,
reason
like there
for
has to be a
stuff.
logic. Yeah, and it just fascinates me, like how, because you need one of every type of person. There's not a right and a wrong. There's like that's someone doing their job. He's just moving the bricks. He doesn't have to think.
It's true.
It's my job to think,
it's true.
and he's moving the bricks. So yeah, I find that so interesting.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, I think I think I sit in the middle. I think it depends what like you said, where you're at in the company or
like
or
if
the
you're
job.
actually
If
even
you're,
interested in it.
Yeah, if you're just there to tick a box and can get paid, then do whatever, don't you?
Because like if you told me when I was a kid that we'd go on like a fucking farm tour and we see how they do dairy farming, I'd be like, fuck me, that sounds boring shit. Like, get me out of here. I don't want to do this. Now I can't think of anything more interesting. There's so many things that you'd never even think of.
True.
Like, I'm so interested in how stuff happens. Like,
yeah, and I think that again ties back into podcasts. Like, I've learned so much from listening to stuff. Not at all, literally nothing. But like from 100%, other stuff, you become more interested. Like, you know, through podcasts, I've learned about, just for example, like ancient civilizations. Which if you'd have told me that at school about, we're going to learn about ancient, you'd be like, nah.
Do you wish you
I'm
could
just
do
going to
school
tune
again?
out. Good question. No, but yeah, in a way, because
if I could get that money, I'd do school again. Yeah, if I could get that money as well and do school, yeah, I'd do it.
What do you mean get the money? Like the student
loan? If I
loan?
could get paid and
paid to go to school?
Yeah, I'd do it, dude. I'd learn French. I'd learn all of this different stuff. I'd walk around in a cute little uniform.
I feel like most of it's just useless, and like from what I remember, no one ever really used to.
Yeah, it's true, dude. Yeah.
No one ever used to like question the teacher. They just tell you something and just like, yeah, that's cool, that's gospel. Whereas now, I'd be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
So we do three bike garage. Let's do 3 subject schools. So you've got to pick 3 subjects. Let's just say one summer, Davey goes back to school. He does 3 subjects. What are the 3 subjects going to be? What do you want to learn about?
Psychology.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't do any of that at school.
No, I would love. That's on my list as well for sure.
Yeah, I'd go history.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't do any of that at school. I'll be honest. Just used to tune out.
Yeah.
And then I do like. We're talking any sort of school, you know, with age-wise, aren't we?
Yeah, and let's say it's like an adult level. Like, you don't want to be doing like the cat sat on the mat. Obviously, that'd be quite tough. Summer.
Yeah, totally. I do read it. No, I do. What's it called? Like philosophy, definitely.
Yeah, philosophy's a good shout as well, isn't it? Yeah.
They've been my 3.
There you go. Okay,
I'll
do psychology.
What about you?
I think I'd do psychology, and then I think like the other 2 would probably be. I don't know. It's tough. I was going to say languages. I was going to say Spanish, German, or French, or. I just wish I had a language. So bad.
Right.
I try my hardest in all of the languages everywhere I go. I'll try really hard in that period of time that I'm there. But I'm just shit. I just do crap versions of it. Whereas I feel like in school I had the opportunity to learn. I didn't take it. German.
Yeah, I feel like that a lot. Yeah. Definitely a lot. And like I say, learn, but also question. Didn't ask many questions. I literally just used to rock up and just do the bare minimum to get through. Didn't question anything. Didn't do anything over what was asked ever. Didn't do anything under what was asked ever. It was just like I was D's.
Yeah.
Just D's. D's, GCSEs, all D's. Just D's. Just double D, triple D.
Double D's, dude. Yeah, you're still.
I was D'd up.
You're D'd up, yeah.
That's all it was. It was just school. D's. It was like.
Hey, I tell you one that's controversial that I would consider now. This is one that I ridiculed when I was at school, quite literally to the point where I was writing jokes in my exam paper.
Oh, it's going to be RE.
Yeah. And if I could do that now and learn a little bit more about the world, because that's kind of history. That's kind of...
Yeah.
Okay, that kind of includes every aspect of what we've talked about, other than language. It does include psychology. Like religion is like a case study on psychology and on and psychology throughout history. It's like,
and a lot of philosophy.
And a lot of philosophy is actually fascinating. And I don't subscribe to any of the clubs, but learning about the clubs and where they come from is very, very interesting, actually. And when I was at school, I didn't have the forethought or the imagination to work out that is the case. And I guess kind of like GCSE RE is kind of cat sat on the mat religion, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I just thought, I remember when we did our GCSE RE, we had a sort of school-wide joke that we would fit into our GCSE RE exam. The phrase, "I am not a puppet, I'm a real boy." And apparently everyone did it because we had to have a assembly, and the teacher and the head teacher, or whatever she was called, was like, "Why has everyone got this one thing in their GCSE RE?"
Dude, that's scary, isn't it? It's like Lord of the Flies. It's like the kids stand up against you. It would be creepy.
Yeah.
It'd be creepy. Look,
and that's like post-social media. It just went round school that everyone was going to do it. And I remember, I've always remembered it because I remember writing it in there of like, I'd use the example, "I'm not a puppet, I'm a real boy."
That is so good. That is so good.
School-wide.
Yeah, I tell you what.
But yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, mate.
It could be a good one, yeah.
I'm with you. RE could be good. I'd like to understand it more. I think I'm at a point in my life where I'm questioning it more. Obviously, I just did not a whole episode with Macduff, but talking a little bit about religion.
Did you? Yeah, I haven't got to that bit yet.
Yeah, little bit, not a lot, because it's something that I don't feel really comfortable talking about because I don't understand it enough to have the conversation. If that makes sense. Every time I try, I think
it's good to talk about those things and be open about the fact that I don't know shit. I've got like ideas that I have in my head about all of it. I'm not really ashamed to, like, the fact that I don't subscribe to one club means, it doesn't mean anything. It's like,
so if someone came up to you, like, just whatever, and said, "Look, explain in a sentence or two religion," what would you say?
I'd say this.
That's a Spock.
I don't know.
Question.
I'd say that. I don't know.
Just shrug.
But if you subscribe to one, then you automatically don't subscribe to the fucking 100,000 other religions that are out there. Like, I wonder, it'd be interesting to talk to like a someone who's like one of these kind of like Christian sects. So they subscribe to like one part of Christianity, which I don't know. I think I literally can't say anything without sounding dumb in this respect. But I think
it's fine.
I think there are like Christians. There's like certain elements of Christianity that people believe in and others don't. Blah blah blah.
I'd say so. Yeah, I'd say so.
So like what? Like, to me, it's insane that there's like Protestant and Catholic, or Church of England, and like I don't understand how.
I think it's insane that people die over ideology and religion. That people are willing to kill each other over an idea.
It is.
That there's arguably no proof of.
But how about this, right? So someone who's Catholic, would they feel more in common with someone who is Protestant, or would they feel more in common with me, who is who doesn't know anything?
Would you say you're atheist?
Nah, I'd say I just don't know anything. I don't know what that category is. Dummy. I don't know. I just don't know anything. I don't have the answers. I'm not like full science. I'm fairly science, but like I do still feel like there's things that can't be explained.
Definitely, I'd like to know more. I think my ultimate question for anyone who believes in God is like, do you think there is someone above us watching? Like, that's my like, and I've never really asked anyone that. But is that what you actually believe is happening? That someone is going, Ollie, you're going to hurt your ankle today.
Yeah.
Davey, you're going to, that's an interesting one that people actually do believe that, to me. But that's fine. But I think with religion, there's so much.
Yeah, but you believe things that are unexplained, right?
True.
So you've got like some things that you've experienced in life, or ideas that you have that are unexplainable. So it's like between them, it's like fucking. I don't know. I like to think that I like a painting because I like a painting. Like, not because of my upbringing and because I saw this sunset on this day and the colours were very nice in that, and I'm referring back to a point in my life where my mum gave me a compliment, and on that day I ate a raspberry tart, and of course the colour of this image is quite raspberry. Like all of that shit. I like to think there's some element of unexplained, which if there's any gaps in what you think, then that could be where God is, or where religion is. You know what I mean? If there's a crack in the door, that's why do you like that painting? Why is that painting beautiful? If you don't have an explanation for it, then that could be where spirituality lies. And on that note, I'm going to stop talking because I realise that I make zero sense. In my head, I make sense. But...
Interesting, man. Let's just keep exploring it on every episode. We're going to do the religion segment, and it's going to be hilarious. This week, we're going to read X passage out of the Bible, and we'll try and decipher it ourselves. Yeah. But that'd be an absolute shit show.
Imagine,
I've been watching.
Please.
Really good series on Netflix called Schitt's Creek.
Oh, brilliant! I've watched that. That's good, isn't it? Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
It's good. We're only about 8 or 9 episodes in.
I think
I got
that far as well, to be honest. I think I got that far.
Nice and short.
So,
I like a little bit of escapism sometimes, like a 20-minute episode of something, bit of a laugh.
Yeah, it's kind of mindless. It's good, isn't it? Yeah. So, Schitt's Creek is the rich family that lose their money, is that correct?
Correct, yeah. Rich family lose all the money, end up living in a town called Schitt's Creek, and, well, they end up... somehow they own the town. Yeah. Because the guy bought it for his son as a joke. And then, they end up living there in a motel. And it is really funny. The guy in it, I don't know the actor's name, but he was in American Pie. It was Thingy's dad. That guy's dad.
He's funny.
His dad. Yeah, it's good. It's good. I enjoy it. It's easy, simple, nice and easy to watch. And ultimately, actually, a little bit of a slightly different subject. When this episode comes out, England will have played Germany. Now, I'm not a football fan at all.
No,
not a bit. But I have watched some England games because I do like to get in with the like, oh lads sometimes, and I'll be like, well, everyone else is watching it, so I'll check it out. So, do you think we'll have won or lost? Because people will know by now.
I think the chances of us winning are always quite low because we're not good at the sports that we celebrate in England.
That's fair. That's a very fair point.
So we got more chance of winning. Yeah, I don't know. Downhill mountain biking or...
Yeah, we actually have. Yeah, cool. I'm with you. I think we'll have probably lost anyway. So
was that going to be your guess as well? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, nice headphones, by the way, dude.
Huh?
Nice headphones, I said.
Nice, aren't they? Thank you. Have you got the same ones on?
Don't know. Are they the same?
Oh,
we got the same headphones.
So. Mine are called Hesh.
Mine are called
Hesh Evo.
Mine are called that as well.
Nice. Actually comfy as well.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? Who are they by?
These ones are from Skull Candy.
Same.
So big shout out to Skull Candy, man, for sending us some product and hooking us up.
Yeah.
Really kind. They're actually comfy. Like this is the ones I had before were Skull Candy, and I broke them, but they weren't that comfy for my list. See,
that's cheap. That's a bad advert, dude. That's a bad advert. You could have just said they weren't, and they were. You know, it would have been
It's my fault. I stood on them. So if you watch the that Matt McDuff episode that I just talked about, if you watch it on YouTube, you'll notice that my headphones are like this, and they're held together with a bit of muck off rim tape because I stood on them.
Let's rewind, and I'll do the advert.
All right, you do it.
So yeah, my old headphones were a big corporation called Sony, and they weren't that comfy. These ones are super comfy. They're the Skull Candy Hesh.
Hesh Evo.
There you go, and then cut, and then that's the advert, and that's what we sent to them.
Nice.
Perfect.
That's what we send to Skull Candy. No, these are sick. They're actually really good, comfy. They're a bit, and I'll be honest, it's kind of weird just having noise cancelling headphones on anyway, because they are quite isolating, but I feel very connected to you. I feel like all I can hear is you.
Really?
Can't really hear my own voice that much.
Yeah, there you go.
It's nice.
That is nice.
I'm into it. I'm very connected. And they just feel really nice quality. Like they're sick. They're really, really nice.
My brother ran over my...
And no wire.
My basketball player brother... Well, both my brothers are basketball players, but my brother came over my house last night. He ran over to my house in the rain. So he's like a 6'5" dude in the rain with his top off. Turns up at the door. I was working on my car. It was pissing down with rain. And he's got headphones on. The ones that plug in. And dude, he's just shouting. He is like, you know how high your volume goes? I always worry a bit when we're doing this. You know, and then he took him out and he's like, whoa, I was shouting. I always kind of worry when I'm doing this that I'm just fucking shouting in the flat. You know?
That's funny. Nah, this is sick, dude. Big up. Shout out Skull Candy. We've got a bunch of stuff. We're going to give some stuff away at Freedom Ride as well.
Oh, Freedom Ride. Perfect segue.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's good. Yeah, that was
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah, that was good.
Freedom Ride. So, I mean, we wanted to get one of these out before Freedom Ride, but dude, I'm hyped. I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to seeing some people, meeting some people.
Too right.
Having some fun, doing some party laps.
I'm really hopeful I can ride. That's what I was super bummed about, to be honest, when I hurt my ankle.
Yeah.
I was thinking, fuck, I can't even ride it, Freedom Ride. But I'm thinking I can now. I can pedal around sat down. So even if I do sit down laps, you know, like that fast as fuck crew they're doing Whistler, I'll just do that.
Yeah, you'll be okay. You'll be all right. It is what it is, man. Just the hang's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be great fun.
Whatever.
Can't wait.
We're just going to have some fun.
Things coming together, eh?
It's sold out as well. We're officially sold out. But what I will say, because people do keep messaging about tickets, is just keep an eye on it, because as soon as someone gets hurt or they are returning the ticket because they can't make it, I'm just adding them back onto the website. So if anyone does want a ticket still, like, just keep an eye on that website, because every now and again there's 1 ticket, 2 tickets. I put 5 on just the other day and they went straight away. Just keep an eye on it. Nice. So yeah, I'm excited, man. That everything's coming together. We got the morning jumble sale, the Deaconator Real Deal MTV jumble sale. We got that going on. We've got Freedom Express happening. What else we got going on? We got a load of prizes.
I'm actually really excited.
People to play with.
I don't know with the jumble sale whether I should actually just pack so much stuff and just see, or what does it? I'm probably gonna have to put prices on it as well, eh? I might do it. I might bring loads of stuff. It could be fun.
Hey, get that tax bill paid by selling shit.
Yeah, it's true, isn't it? Yeah, it is true. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got a bike to sell too, man. Get it down there.
Yeah, it's true. I just have to label.
Got me to put an advert here on the thing.
It's quite a nice hangout as well, don't you think? I could, they'll have a table, a jet ski there, a load of parts. Good.
Yeah. Get it set up, man.
All right, done.
Yeah, get it done.
Right,
Get it done. I don't really have.
Deaconator jumble sale.
Deaconator jumble sale.
Haven't you got a house full of underpants?
Mate, so much underwear to sell.
Ones.
It's not, a lot of return ones.
Is it? Yeah, you get return ones, yeah.
No, I don't deal with returned underpants, mate. No.
Someone does, though, huh?
Someone does. There's some here.
Is there? Yeah, and they got what? They
just keep them at the side of me. These ones I'll use just every now and again, just for. Oh yeah.
So
these have definitely got skidders in.
They've got skidders in. They're actually return ones.
Yeah, these are return ones, but yeah. So, he returned them, said shit himself, and they're meant to not smell, and they do smell. So he returned them back, and I can confirm they smell. No.
He didn't do
anyway.
That'd be insane if someone did that. I mean,
it would be insane.
I did warranty at DMR Bikes for a little while, and let me tell you that the warranty claims are not far off that sometimes.
I can imagine, mate. I can imagine.
You know?
I can imagine. Yeah, dude. We get Sacks get a little bit of returns, but there's really not
Warranty's
a lot.
a tough job. You got to be zen.
Really tough
to be a warranty manager.
You have, and some people do take the piss with it as well. Obviously, people are like, "Oh, we had a classic one, when we distributed joystick, we sold the analog carbon bar, and a guy emailed saying, I was riding and these bars have just snapped, like they've just snapped in half. He sent a photo, stem, bars snapped in half. Like, what? This is insane. Oh my god, right, let's reach out to him, figure it out, right, okay, send them back, we'll figure it out, we'll send you some new bars in return. And then this guy, I ended up knowing somehow one of his friends. I was at a bike shop one day chatting away to this guy, and he was like, oh, blah blah blah, sent his bars back, didn't he? And we were like, oh yeah, like, insane. He snapped the bars, like, were literally snapped in half. And he was like, oh yeah, he basically cartwheeled his bike down a cliff. It was like, oh. You know, and he'd just taken a chance on saying they've snapped him. And we were like, he literally cartwheeled his bike down a cliff.
Mate, it's actually a fascinating job, isn't it? Because it's like really telling. You see a whole cross section of people, and like you said, like he cartwheeled his bike down, so he was dishonest, and then like how he approached it was just lying. Some people approach it with like anger; they'll like have a go at you about something. Some people like, I don't know. It's really telling. It's really interesting.
Crash replacement is a very loose term.
Yeah,
I do crash replacement, like. Yeah, but if you barrel roll your bike down a cliff and the whole thing's pretty much snapped in half, you can't be sending your bars back and stuff. It's rude.
At DMR, like, if people just approached things in the right way, they were just dealing. It was just a human dealing with another human, and it always worked out. If the person was nice, they were honest, they were good, they were not like they just had. If they had the right tone, they appreciate that they're just dealing with someone sat at a computer. Then you'd hook them up like. You would. It's just how it works, isn't it? And people don't always do that. They don't even think like that. They're like, right, he's going to have...
Your part as broken.
Exactly,
and I'm
going to be aggressive.
Make your life hell.
Yeah, that's going to increase my chances of getting a free 40 quid.
Yeah, like we're just going to bow down to you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no.
Sorry! Like Earth song, Michael Jackson.
I'm sorry something broke while you were in 90th place at a local enduro.
Insane.
Oh dear. What have you been...
I've got another
Is there anything you've been listening to?
Well, yeah, I have, yeah. But I've been also watching Cade and Chaos destroy whip-offs. And that's been great. And I can watch those... Because those whips represent just the freedom of youth. You know? Just like,
NFG, no fucks given. Just send it sideways and hope for the best. Both of those dudes.
Like, Cade landed... completely backwards, and just he's like, I don't know, he just bounces, survives, he's strong, confident, he's the man, he's up, he's gonna...
That was some whip off, that was,
so
dude. That
sick,
was some whip
that
off.
Jump looks amazing, actually. I've never ridden it. I don't think I've ever ridden in Innsbruck, actually. Oh, maybe I have. I don't know, but the jump, that whip off jump does look a good one, doesn't it?
It does look a perfect one. Yeah, it's you can shout out to the Crankworks crew, man, for making an event happen too.
Yeah,
insane.
And they did.
Really cool. Really cool. I'll be honest, I haven't watched the whole thing yet. I've missed. I haven't watched all of Slopestyle. I watched a little bit.
Highlights, yeah. I'm a highlights guy, actually. I'm a highlights guy. Basketball, I watch a full game, but biking, I tend to be a highlights guy.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That's right. That's cool. I wanted to. I was going to watch the whole thing, but again, it just fell at a wrong time, and I just haven't got around to doing it yet.
I sat down with Sam, with Rocksteady Sam. And we watched the women's Speed and Style. We watched all of the Speed and Style, but we watched the women's Speed and Style, and there was a chick, and she's called Vicky Gooms, and she just laid down flips back to back every run. She didn't even win. She's flipping every run. How sick is that?
Wow, that's really cool. Where's she from? Do you know? Where's Vicky Gooms from?
New Zealand, I think.
I
think she's called Gooms.
Shout out Vicky Gooms.
Yeah, shout out Vicky Gooms. And then and there was another one that flipped, but she didn't seem ready yet. Big flip crash, but the girls are... She sent a flip in front of a big crowd. Like, actually, it's quite a gnarly thing. When you think... We and Sam were watching, and we were like, fuck, well, she's just flipping these like wooden jumps to dirt landings. It's fine. She's not. She's done practice. She's probably flipped it once or twice, and then she's waited overnight thinking about this event. This is a big chance. Then there's cameras everywhere. Then the next day, she's done practice in the morning, waited 2 hours for rain to clear. Then she's just got to drop in and flip again. it's like not. It's not nothing. She's actually it's gnarly. So good on her.
I wonder how much of an element the gate is as well, and actually that you're racing somebody.
Oh, it's so
that's pretty gnarly, man. Like you've also got to do it fast. You've got to flip fast.
It's tough. So if you're coming in hot, then you've got to brake. You've got to control your speed. I think it's an I don't really care about judged events as much. I don't know. It's like a cool spectacle, but I don't really. It's not like a real form of riding, is it? You don't like fucking crank around and then do backflips. I don't anyway. I find it weird.
No.
But equally, it was good to watch. Unique. Really good to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, I am going to catch up on it. I've got it all on my YouTube, like just ready to go,
nice.
But I've just not managed to find time to do it yet. But yeah, it's sick. And we had a downhill race too since we last spoke, which was crazy.
Yeah.
We had a downhill race.
Good race.
Did you watch much of that?
Yeah, I watched it. Watched it all.
Yeah.
Loved it, yeah.
How good, because I did make a couple of notes because I thought we were going to do an episode that next day or whatever it was. How good was the drone follow cam? That was so sick. That speed section.
So interesting, dude. So interesting. I actually feel a bit sick with those drone cameras.
Really?
So yeah.
Not a fan.
So for me, I'm really a fan. I know exactly what you mean. Like the open high speed section is what makes that a great track to sort of like watch on, isn't it? It makes it like a really good one to watch at home. So I am with you, but yeah, like the drone makes me a bit like. Does
it? Yeah. I really liked it. I was like, that's awesome, because that section you rarely, from last year, I don't think you really got to see it. You just got well, you sort of see from the side and you don't really get a perspective of speed, but when it was like above following before they went into the woods, I was
you're right.
That's actually really cool.
What did they have before? Did they have a cable cam there before? I can't remember.
Maybe it might have been a cable cam where you literally saw like the first hit and then maybe the fourth or third. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like just that. You know, everyone always talks about how hard it is to film enduro, for example. I know they're in the trees; it's a little bit different, but that to me was like, well, it kind of can be done in a way that it's quite watchable.
The EWS Rurik did the EWS preview, and he talks down the track, and it's following him down a ridge line. I can't remember who it is. That's maybe Nico Turner's doing it, or maybe it's I can't remember who I saw it on. But it's so good, dude. It's so good because he's obviously mic'd up, and it's just following him with a drone like down. I think the drone.
I don't know. I saw it and I was like, there's something here. Like, why? You know, this is a thing. This could be.
I really like the drone ones
when
they're not focusing. When you get like a jazzy drone pilot, they try and like wiggle around, and for me, it's a cinematic thing. So like, I way prefer it if they stay from one angle, so you can actually see the rider. Whereas when they whiz around riding the back wheel, to me it does nothing. I just feel sick. Can't see the riding.
I think that's what they were doing with the World Cup. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think you're right.
If I'm honest, but it was just above, and it was just following them down that thing.
Yeah, I think you're right. Cool.
There's a weird thing at the start. All the riders were doing this like weird pointy thing at cameras. They weren't really a fan of that. I don't know if you've noticed that at all. It was like introducing riders. Oh, it's Loic Bruni, and he's like,
oh really? Yeah.
Ooh, it's cringe.
Oh, it's
horrible, not a fan of
it?
that. But there you go.
Yeah.
But other than that, I can't remember the race, mate. If I'm honest, I forget these things pretty quick.
It's good, wasn't it? It's good to be back racing. Really good to be back watching racing. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
It is.
And we got Leger coming up.
We'll break these down a little bit more next time.
Yeah, dude. Let's pay. Well, there's been a break, hasn't there? So we haven't had a chance to prepare. Yeah.
No.
We got Leger coming up. Leger is super exciting, and Leger always has like fresh bits of track in it that really are like old school downhill racing. So.
Yeah. So there's another event. Leger's like a whatever. The Freedom Ride is what people are probably most hyped about following through social media and stuff like that.
That's the main one. Yeah. Freedom was the main one, and Leger's also going on at the same time.
It's also going to happen. Yeah. Have you got a listening while we're at?
Sorry, dude. I really dodged that question, didn't I? Hey, baby, Stephen Marley.
Stephen Marley, hey, baby. You know what I'm going to start doing?
Yeah.
I'm going to add it to the playlist right now.
Do it. What's you're listening to?
Hey, baby, Stephen Marley. Is this one of Bob's sons?
It's one of Bob's sons. One of Bob's many sons.
He's got a few, has he? Yeah, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he sung some dick back in the day, yeah.
Yeah, he's a chief dick slinger. Alright, hey baby, add to playlist. Look at podcast playlist. There it is. It's in there right away. And then I've been jamming to this. I really like a band called Buck Cherry. They're an American like rock band.
Nice.
And they've got a single out called Gun.
Buck cherry
So, gun. Yeah. It might not be for everyone, but you never know. So that's in there. There you go.
Nice, man. Oh, I'm excited. Hey, dude, have you already put on, by this point in the podcast, will you have put on the animation? Can we put on the animation again? Like now? How cool is that?
Sick.
We're stepping up, right?
So sick. We are stepping up. I feel like this one's a bit of a pilot episode again.
Yeah, pilot episode,
Put a few ideas out there, see what's going on. And then hopefully we're going to have some help with the editing. So we're going to have
We need help.
Can we say we've got a staff member?
We might have a staff member. That is kind of a team member.
Team member.
Team member,
there you go.
because it's not authoritative then, is it?
Yeah, he's a team member. So we're going to have a team member who's going to be helping with some editing and some... basically it's making my life a little bit easier, mate, I'll be honest.
So where we introduce a team member, potentially we might have a producer. Who knows?
Might have.
Maybe we've got another character that we can bring in. And who knows? It's going to be exciting. I'm excited.
Before we look towards wrapping up, I got something else I wanted to say and tell you. So, and this is a bit of a heads up for our fans and listeners too, is that if you don't pay your parking fines, turns out they do actually send people around to your house. And this is the first time this has ever happened to me. Doing the job that I've done for the past however many years, I do rack up a lot of parking fines.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of times where I'll run into a shop and I'll be like, it's cool, I'll leave my car here, I'll give them a catalogue, I'll just do what I need to do and I'll come out and I'll be fine. So I got a parking fine a little while ago. It was actually while we were in lockdown. It was in Manchester. Yeah. We did a sacked campaign in Manchester, in Salford, and I left my van in this spot, and basically I didn't return to the van for a couple of days. So I left it there.
Oh, that must have been
overnight
with a load of soiled pants in the back as well.
Stunk, disgusting. Warm day, gross. So I get back to it, and I got 2 parking fines, one for each day.
Really? Yeah.
So it's like that's a bit tight, you know.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Maybe 1. So anyway, whatever. I'm used to it. I think because I'm a bit daft. I think right. Well, I forgot to pay it. No, because the van was a lease company. It went to the lease company. It made its way around. It finally got to me. It had gone up significantly by that point. Anyway, so it was £130 each. So I thought, well, I'll pay 1. That way, I'm prolonging the fact that I've got to pay 2. Just been a tight northerner. Just been a little bit tight. Just thinking,
and you were going to write and say like, oh well, just stick it on the 50% one and count both. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I hear you.
There's so
logic in that.
I pay 1, then I get a letter saying we've reduced the second one because of coronavirus. We appreciate people are going to be out of work, maybe a little bit poor. And it went down from £130 to 30. So I emailed them back. I was like, well, I've already paid 130, so surely you can knock off that 30.
Yeah, right.
From the one that I've already paid, which would have been 30 if I hadn't paid it by this point. Yeah. Anyway, no reply. So then the other day I'm sat at home, and there's a pretty loud knock on the door, and I thought, that's an aggressive courier. That is, he's pretty desperate to deliver this package.
Yeah, so I guess it starts there. You need to make an impact, don't you? As a debt collector.
Big knock on the door. It was like he'd ran into the door. I mean, it was loud. Big bang on the door. Bang, bang, bang. I was like, go downstairs, open the door, and there is a man stood on the drive who was pretty intimidating, I'll be honest with you. So there's a man stood on the drive who was probably a solid £275. Yeah. And what makes this even weirder and scarier is not only did he have a stab-proof vest on, what makes someone a little bit more intimidating is a black mask, black sunglasses, and a black hat. And I was like, oh my God. Big old arms on him, tattooed up, and he's just stood there on the drive, and I was like,
all right.
Hiya, all right. And he's like, he's like, David Burks. I was like, yeah. Gives me a letter. I was like, okay.
You say you're served?
Like, yeah. Basically, it may have felt like Bernard Kerr at this point. So he gives me the letter, and he's like, blah blah blah, parking fine. Opened it up. I was like, wow, okay. I was like, that's gone up quite a lot. That's
Where's it at now?
A significant amount of money. What?
Where's it at now? How much is it now?
Well, okay, so... Well, I know my mum listens to this, and she's going to be like, I told you so. So I was thinking what I'll do is I'll tell you 3 numbers that were involved in this. There's 3 numbers. Whichever way round you want to put them makes up how much this fine was. Okay. So there was a number 4, a number 3, and a number 2.
Okay.
Whichever way round you want to put them.
£432, wasn't it?
Yeah. But it might not have been, for the sake of this, it might not have been.
For Mum, it was 234. Yeah?
Yeah. Yes, 234. So I was like, okay, that's gone up significantly. Had a bit of a laugh and a joke with him. Turns out it was sound. Like, I managed to crack him a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's mainly for the podcast people to know, like, if you don't pay your fines, they do turn up. They do start asking if they can.
They take the value.
What's it called?
Take the value of.
They start wanting to take stuff. Yeah, he's like, "Is this car yours?" I was like, "It's actually not." Is this car?
I was like, jet ski.
What?
How much do you reckon I get?
I was honest there. I was like, I'm thinking, I wonder if I can pay him in pants. Like, I wonder if I can pay him in sacks. Cause at 30 quid a pair.
Box of soiled pants.
We get there pretty quick, like 15 pairs of underwear, and it's sorted.
Dude,
But it turns out you have to pay it, mate. Otherwise, they don't leave. They just sit there and wait.
Oh, so scary, that, isn't it?
Dude, pretty intimidating, I'll be honest with you. But it turns out it was really nice. Like, we had a bit of a laugh about it.
Oh, that's
paid it, and I was like, "Oh, where are you going next?" He was like, "Down to London." So he did the whole country.
Wow.
Going debt collecting and stuff. Yeah. It was Polish guy.
That's quite a podcasty job as well, isn't it? We've done a load of podcasty jobs. Tractor driver, debt collector.
Yeah.
I wonder if you.
So if anyone works at Salford Council who can help me get that money back, reach out.
Become a show sponsor.
Your boy's broke. Anyway, so yeah, that happened. Like, it was kind of funny, you know.
Parking sponsor.
You got to laugh about it. At the end of the day, mate. The amount of ones that I've not paid, it's probably about. I'm probably about even now.
And then just the amount of times you get away with parking badly. Like, I love parking badly.
Exactly. So, I take it. I'll take that one on the chin. And that's pretty much what I've got.
That's it. Episode 1.
Episode 1. I think what else? I mean, we'll start doing listener questions again, can't we? For sure, because they're brilliant. I also want to make sure people know that send in stuff. Like, if you see something on Instagram, send it. There is a link in the show description to upload content. So if you want to upload a video, ask us like listener questions. If you want to ask it and video
literally
it, send
anything.
it in. We'll play it on the podcast. You know, we'll play the content. Anything.
Hey, dude,
just reach out. Let's see
next episode, because you're going to be over for Freedom Ride. Should we do it in person? Should we record an episode in person? We should, shouldn't we? Seems like it would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, we could do actually. Yeah, I think if we were going to get some listeners on.
Yeah.
Like, if we record it we get a few people in, do like a livey sort of thing. I might have to invest in a new little recording thing, because I've only got one that does 2 mics.
Yeah.
And we need 3.
Do we though?
But I can make it happen.
Yeah. Okay. Got you. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Well, maybe we should talk to our producer. I quite like saying that. We'll talk to our producer and get back to you guys. Yeah, we'll talk to our producer.
Yeah, talk to the producer and get back to you. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Right, I mean, dude, Ride Companion.
Ride Companion's
what we calling it? Episode 1?
Episode 1, dude. Check again, just have a look at the animation. Quite cool, huh? It's so cool, sick. Yeah.
So cool.
Wicked. We'll be back amongst it properly next week. Not much preparation, really. Should really be the other way around. If you're like launching something, you should really... But that's good. That's a learning thing. We'll learn to next time we launch something, put effort in for the first one. Not. This is what you could call a wet fart campaign. You know, some might call it anticlimactic. It's sort of like a, you know, in it a little bit like episode number 1.
So this episode should be called podcast. The Wet Fart.
Yeah, the wet fart, the anticlimax. This is what it is.
Right, Companion, episode 1. The wet fart.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Exactly. Perfect.
That's a wrap. Thank you, everyone. As always, appreciate it. Thank you for your patience while we put this thing together. As you can see, we did loads of work for it.
The next one's going to be unreal, dude. We're going to get into it.
Yes, we are.
See you next week for episode 2.
Peace.
No, you fucking do that thing, don't you? Yeah, that's it. Out of practice, dog. Jeez.